Drum kit, drum kit, drum kit, drum kit, drum kit, drum kit, new drum kit, new drum kit, new drum kit, new. What's up, party animals? Welcome back to another video today. I'm your host, Guy. And boy, do I have some hype news for you guys today. Some real dope information for you guys. I just released a brand spanking new drum kit. This drum kit is my video game drum kit. We got 100+ high quality drum sounds, perfect for video game music or any other genre where you need some vintage drum machine type sounds. Super dope cover art, and it's only $14.99. Can't get much better than that, can ya? No. You can't. The drum kit is available on my new website, the Feezo store, shopfeezo.com, and it's also available on TrackTrain as well, so those links will be down in the description. But without any further ado, let's jump right into this drum kit, show you guys some of my favorite sounds, how I made them, and also let's make a little beat here. Behold, here it is, the drum kit. Obviously, the kit is going to work with whatever DAW you're using, whether it's FL Studio, Ableton, Reason, Logic, whatever, man. All the files are WAV, so the highest peak quality. As you can see, we got a bunch of different folders in here. We got some claps and kicks and snares, the usual drum kit stuff. But I also added a bunch of bass sounds as well that I synthesized myself. The majority of the sounds in the kit I created from scratch. Some of them I did sample and kind of tweak a little bit, but a lot of them just started out as straight up white noise, and I turned it into a sound. Here's a couple of kick sounds. Here's a few snares. My personal favorite, the folder with random drums and percussion. Here's a few bass sounds. A couple ram shots. So yeah, pretty standard stuff, but we've also got a couple folders in here with some extras. So we got some random melodic type stuff, a couple crashes in there. And then I also put together a couple of drum loops using the sounds from the kit. So you can just kind of drag these in. And as you can see, they're tempo matched, so it lines up right away to the 4 bars. That one's obviously supposed to be a little slower. And these are really convenient because you can just drag them in, kind of use them as backing tracks, or use them as a full song, whatever you want to do with them. I'll show you guys a little snippet on how to make your own drum sounds, but I will make a full video on this at some point. My synth of choice is Serum, but you can use whatever you want. Basically, I'll just start with the initialize preset, turn this bad boy off, turn some noise on, and then put the envelope down kind of like this. And now you'll have a little sound like this. And there you go, that right there sounds like an open hat. If we want a closed hat, we just bring this decay down a little bit more. We got a closed hat, and that took 2 seconds right there. Doing stuff like percussion and snares and kicks are a little bit more complicated because we'll need to open up an oscillator and then put this on a sine wave, such as this one. It already sounds a little bit snare-ish, but you can kind of just mess around with the pitch, maybe turn the octave down, turn the levels up and stuff, change the envelope a little bit. And there we have a somewhat recognizable snare sound. When it comes to a kick sound, you probably can turn the noise off and then take this envelope here and do a similar thing, but make it even smaller. And now assign this envelope to the coarse pitch. And then I like to turn the level up and just kind of boost everything. And now you'll have this. And that right there is obviously a kick sound. Making your own drum sounds is really not too tricky once you get down the basics. And then from there, you can just get really creative with the effects you put on it and the way you synthesize the sounds. So I'll make a full video on this at some point, but this is how I made the majority of the sounds in the kit. So now we got to make a little track here with this video game drum kit, which obviously means we're going to make some video game music. So when it comes to video game music, the most important thing that you always want to be thinking about is the vibe, the mood you're trying to capture with the song you're creating. Because video game music is specifically designed to make you feel a certain way during particular scenes in a video game, the vibe of the track is always going to be paramount. So for this track, I kind of want to go for like an underwater theme. Another thing to keep in mind too is just simplicity. This drum pattern right here that I cooked up is super simple, very simple. But with video game music, you don't really need a whole bunch of crazy stuff in there. You don't need a bunch of snare rolls and hi-hats and stuff. All right, so let's get some electric piano. Not bad. That's kind of underwatery. I'm not very good at playing piano, but we're gonna see how well this goes. Oh my god, that was so bad. Take 2. Not bad, not bad, not bad. It's like an extra 2 bars, so it's like 4 bars with 2 bars at the end here. We're gonna need to touch it up a little bit, okay? Just a little bit. Okay, so here we got our little pattern. It's nice and underwatery, I feel like. So now I want to get some strings in here as well, but probably like some more lower pitch strings. Also, with video game music, you don't really have to worry about making sure that everything is, you know, like a different velocity and whatnot, because it's supposed to be a little bit robotic. If we wanted to have some super humanly sounding video game music, we would just, you know, record some real instruments. And of course, there are video games where they have entire orchestras do the soundtrack and whatnot, but this is more like traditional old school type video game music. And one of the most important things for me when I'm making video game music is adding little arpeggios in there. It's just one of those things that once you hear it, you're like, oh yeah, that's a video game thing right there. Listen, I know there's an FL shortcut for this. Just let me do it by hand, okay? Let me have my little moment here. So this sounds cool, all right? But it's missing something. We're missing something major in there. And what is that thing that we're missing? What we need is some main lead sound or something to really just grab the listener's attention and be like, hey, this right here is the main part of the song. Layout is very important here. When it comes to video game music, you want to have something changing pretty much like every 4 to 8 bars. Mind you, this is supposed to be background music in a lot of cases, so if your brain is just listening to like the same thing over and over and over, subconsciously you're going to get tired of that. So I like to just start out with maybe the main sound and a couple drum sounds. We'll put the drums in but without the hi-hats, and then when that comes in, we'll bring in the arpeggio, and then maybe the low strings as well. But before everything drops in, we're going to do a little cut like this. And that's just dope right there. That sounds great. I also just took this sound and I made a separate pattern of it where it just goes like this, which is super dope and adds a nice little break section in there. I got really into the layout there for a minute. But we have our completed video game music track. So I don't know if I mentioned it, but what I ended up doing was extending that little 2-bar part into a 4-bar part and then taking the main 4 bars and making that 8 bars. I think I'm also going to add one of my crashes in here for a little bit better transition effect. This one specifically has a tone playing underneath it, as you can hear. So you want to match this to the key of your track. That right there I think fits perfectly, just 100 cents down. What I like to do with a lot of my crash sounds is put some delay and reverb on them. You can make it like a 1/4 delay and then just bring down the feedback a little bit. Pretty dope. And then with the reverb, this is not like, I would not recommend this, but I just put the decay all the way up and then turn the wet down quite a bunch. It's a long reverb. It lasts for a while. So yeah, that is pretty much it for this beat here. I think it turned out pretty epic and cool, if I do say so myself. But anyways, all my dudes and non-dudes as well, that is pretty much going to do it for me in this video today. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. I just love video game music. It's so fun to listen to and also to create as well. So I know I personally am going to be using this kit a lot, and I hope you guys really like it as well. Links in the description, shopfeezo.com, and it's on Track Train. Make sure to send me whatever cool music you make using these drum samples. I'd love to hear it, and I will see you all next time.